Hey everybody, welcome once again. I have Lisa Marie Grantham with me today, who is one of my favorite, most amazing business coaches out there. And there's something so unique about the way that she works and she teaches and she coaches around building business that I want to share with you. Lisa today is going to be talking to you about how to grow a soul-driven business the feminine way. And she's actually best known as the founder of the Goddess Lifestyle Plan. She's an elemental priestess and intuitive entrepreneur. She helps conscious women build, scale, and leverage a profitable online business and design an abundant lifestyle they love by working in harmony with nature, the universe, and the elemental forces of creation so they can enjoy a life filled with passion, purpose, and prosperity. Welcome, Lisa.
Thank you for having me, Sandra. This is so fun all the time.
I know. I just adore interviewing you. We only met in person once when we lived in New York, and we live 2 hours away from each other in Florida now, and we still haven't met up, but we're going to make it happen.
We follow each other, though. Wherever we go, the other one goes.
We do. So, Lisa, can you share with everyone, what does it mean to grow a soul-driven business the divine feminine way?
Yeah, such a great question. It's funny when you say that back to me, I'm thinking, is that too jargony? Because as a business coach, where I'm always helping my clients like refine, and I'm always like, don't be jargony. Divine feminine, it's been a really hot topic, I think, for the last decade. Back when I started my business, Goddess Lifestyle Plan, it wasn't mainstream. The word goddess, divine feminine rising, what does that even mean? And it's basically, if I had to just kind of off the top of my head say what it is, building a soul-driven business is something, for me anyway, I always had a longing in my heart to serve. I have a servant's heart. Soul-driven is, I have to do this. I have to serve in this way. So there's so much soul in that. Also, you could be thinking like soul is putting a lot of who you are into something, your essence, your purest essence of your soul. So a soul-driven business is, my soul tells me, go in this direction, go in that direction, launch this program. This would probably be great. It's very intuitive because it's really coming from within me. And divine feminine, the way to build a business, divine feminine, is really honoring the feminine within you and also the divine masculine within you. We have these core energies, divine feminine, divine masculine. As a woman and as someone who identifies with being a woman, because that has to be part of conversation today, I really operate from a core energy of feminine energy. So feminine energy is softer and nurturing, receptive. You flow with what is. The divine feminine connects to the moon. The moon is very mysterious, and it's water, and it's like water energy. So it's very emotional, tapped into the emotional realm. And then the divine masculine, which I happen to route like a mofo. I have a lot of masculine energy, aligned, takes action, knows what it wants, very yang, very outward going energy. So when you start building your soul-driven business the divine feminine way, it's really understanding cycles of nature, how everything's cyclical, even building business, how you can use your masculine and feminine energy to support you in growing and exponentially growing a business that feels good to your soul.
Can you give us some examples of how you would harness those cycles?
Yeah. So I kind of view it as macro cycles, micro cycles. So when you look at the macro cycles, it could be seasons. So winter, spring, summer, fall, there's all of this energetic work that supports you during those different seasons. And if you look at business, like, in spring, everything's new and emerging. Right? There's this newness energy, and we're entering into it now at the time of this interview. We're heading into spring equinox, which is the official first day of spring in the Northern Hemisphere, right? So we're just like, oh my God, everything's new and fresh. Things are budding out of the ground. The flowers are coming up. Everything is that beautiful, like leaf green. And it's just looking so like the possibility is there, right? And then we move into summer, which is the growing season. That's when the sun is at its pinnacle, and the sun is masculine energy. So the sun is at its pinnacle of strength. And it's the growing season. We're growing. If you look at it as a metaphor with a garden, you're growing your vegetables in summer. It's like longer days. You're really outside more. You're busting ass maybe more in your business. And then of course, fall is the harvest. And that's when we reap what we sow. We harvest all the abundance from our growing season. And also fall is all about, when you look symbolically to nature, it's about releasing what no longer serves. So not only do I do that for myself personally, I do that in my business. Fall is all about evaluation. What shriveled on the vine? What gave this amazing harvest to me, and to my community, my clients, my students? And then fall is all about rest and rejuvenation. So you would rest and rejuvenate in the wintertime in your business, getting ready to plant your dream seeds again in the spring. So when you're following these macro cycles and then following the micro cycles, which is the monthly lunar cycles, and then the weekly cycles, and then even your day has cycles. The morning, when you first wake up, it's like springtime. Everything's new and possible. And then we move to 12 noon in the afternoon. That corresponds to summer. It is the pinnacle of the day. The sun's in the top of the sky. So it's like your most energy time of the day usually. And then in the late afternoon around this time, we're starting to power down. Our day is coming to a close, our work day. So, what got completed, what shriveled on the vine, what didn't get completed, what can go, what maybe do you need to let go of on your to-do list? And then nighttime is the rest and rejuvenation to start all over again. So when you lived, and I find that women really, when they plug into these cycles, because we're cyclical, right? We menstruate on a lunar cycle. It just all starts to come together. And the beauty of it is you have possibility, new beginnings, you have bust ass time, you have powering down time, and you have rest and rejuvenation. And we do that over and over. So you're honoring all the aspects of what you need to thrive and feel great in business and in life.
Yeah, absolutely. So then do you recommend, when you're working with a client, that they not launch anything during winter?
No, it's not that cut and dry, but there are definitely planetary aspecting that happens in transits. And there are times to launch and there are times to not launch. It's fine to launch in winter, but winter is really about just laying low, introspective thinking, resting, rejuvenating, resting your mind a little bit and allowing the ideas to come to you what wants to be birthed in the upcoming year. So launching's fine, but I definitely watch what the moon's doing and what the planets are doing as well. And then I help, we talk about what's a great time to launch. I mean, basic stuff, spring equinox is great to launch because it's all about new beginnings. Everything's kind of balanced. We're starting the growing season. Any of the seasonal points of the year, which I follow, it's called the Wheel of the Year. It's the Celtic Wheel of the Year. And there are 8 Sabbats, we call them, but they're really nature's holy days, like Earth's holy days. And it's when usually the seasons change, and then the cross-quarter days, which happen midway between the seasonal changes. And those are really powerful vortexes for launching things.
Yeah, I notice sometimes when I've launched something in January, it's gone well, but I notice when I wait a little bit longer, like around March, it works out better. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because everybody's recalibrating, I think, after New Year, and they're putting all their New Year resolutions out there, and they're kind of energizing that. So they're not really open to energizing something else. But what is interesting that happens is a lot of times without the proper support and without the proper guidance, New Year's resolutions usually flop. And that is one of the things that I don't even do New Year's resolutions anymore. I follow nature. I follow the astrology. And because I follow that whole monthly moon thing, I'm always releasing and releasing and calling in, releasing and calling in. So I don't have any New Year's resolutions. I'm working on that shit year round.
Right. Absolutely. So with your work with clients, because you help them work with these cycles, is it part of your work to actually look at their astrological, sign and chart as you're
Yes.
working with them?
Yes. As an elemental priestess, I work very directly with each of the cardinal elements. So that's air, fire, water, earth, and of course our co-creation partner, spirit. So when I onboard a new client or I work with someone privately, I ask them for their exact birth date and I run their chart, their natal chart, so I could see what is the dominant elements in their chart. Because what I found is if somebody has a tremendous amount of earth and very little water, I have to usually give them extra support in flowing more, in opening up a little bit more, receiving more. Like water it corresponds to certain things. So it gives me this almost like this treasure map
Mm.
into my clients. And I'm able to just be really impactful really quickly with these different methods I use.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. That's so cool. And so you are able to kind of sort of chart out, this is the best time for us to launch this, and this is the best time for us to sort of, watch, the collect, right?
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
It doesn't
Yeah.
necessarily mean that you're going to follow the, spring, summer calendar.
No, no. Everything, when I work privately with my clients, it's very much my wisdom, my knowledge right on them and what they need. But what I have found is the astrology does tell me a lot about the default patterns or default struggles that are going to show up.
Yeah.
So, I have a Capricorn client and she is very difficult to make a quick change. There is no quick change in this land. It's a very so I know this because she's Capricorn and she's got a lot of earth in her chart, and it's almost moving a mountain. It's not easy, basically. Like, think about it that way, And then if I have a client with an overabundance of water, I know that they're going to struggle with emotions around launching, emotions if the launch isn't what they expected or hope it will be. There's a lot of deflation. So, so I'm able to really support them based on the astrology, which is awesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's super powerful to have that knowledge and be able to really work with some of the mindset and emotional blocks that come up.
Yes, for sure. I have found it very, very helpful.
Yeah. And visibility too, right? Because that's a huge theme that I've been talking about this week. And before we got on here, you are looking absolutely gorgeous today, but you were telling me that you have no makeup on and you're wanting to really show up more authentically.
Yes.
Right. And so I'm sure that having this additional knowledge allows you to help people work through some of those fears around every area of their business, including visibility.
For sure. And I don't know if you've found this as well, my love, but have you found that you tend to attract clients that struggle with very similar things you have struggled with or do struggle with, and you're just kind of down? Yeah, same thing with me. So there's some magic going on there that we can't explain. It's in the mystery, but it's an interesting thing. So I am an introvert. I'm an introverted person. People who see me, my students, they're like, you're not I'm very introverted. I really am. I'm very, I don't want to say, I almost feel shy sometimes. I'm more of a watcher and a looker and an observer than like a Leo, for example. Leos love to just shine and be radiant. I'm just like, no, don't look at me. Don't put the spotlight on me. So I tend to attract clients that struggle with visibility, struggle with social media, showing up and opening the kimono, so to speak. It feels very uncomfortable to open the kimono. So, these are things that I've worked on in myself and worked through for the most part. And I have certain methodologies that I use for myself that makes me feel energetically supported, but also, like what is appropriate, what feels good for me to share openly online. I call it emotional vomiting, which some do it so well, and I admire it, but I can't do it.
I wish I could vomit emotionally. I really do. Sometimes I wish I was that.
I wish I was too. I'm not. I'm just not. And how do you grow a business when you're just not that, I don't know, open, So these are things that I work on within myself. I help my clients with. I tend to attract a lot of tech, limiting beliefs around tech.
Mm-hmm.
And the first one to like jump in and be like, let's share this Zoom call and let's do this tech right now. So I like to demystify everything. Maybe it's that magical sort of, I'm like, this is not mysterious. We can get this done. We can get this done.
Well, you got a lot of tools. You have many, many tools, a lot of, cool esoteric and then practical tools. I know that you have a really awesome, amazing tool to share with everyone, which is the Profitable Business Checklist. So I want you to share that and share the link. And then I want you to let everybody know where they can learn more about you.
Yeah, thank you. So the Profitable Business Checklist is after being in business online, many businesses. Honestly, I've grown many businesses, both brick and mortar and virtual businesses. But there are 20 must-haves that I've identified that you really need to have in place in order to support you in having a profitable and sort of sacred soul-driven business. And this checklist kind of really walks you through each of them. And it's a great, it's a great tangible tool where you could go, I got this, I don't have that. So you know what you need to work on in order to have all cylinders firing, so to speak. Like, who you're talking to, what they're struggling with, all the things that you need. And so I identified 20, that's on the checklist. I also have an amazing program called the Elemental Goddesspreneur Sisterhood program. And that is where I begin teaching goddesspreneurs, which I believe are divine feminine women, or those who identify as women, and they want a business, so they're early stage or new and budding. So it's about gaining confidence, it's about gaining the know-how, and also understanding the elemental work, because like I said, I really understanding elemental work, planetary work, and how they influence us and what's going on has been a game changer in my life. So I give a very basic overview. So now my students can start to really tap into that wisdom, esoteric wisdom and holistic wisdom, and then start applying it to their own life and then help them support their clients with it as well. So this program is something that I thought about all through last year. And I said, no, we need business and this lifestyle component so that they both work together and they support, because business without this wisdom, it's almost like, what is that saying? Teach a man, give a man a fish, he eats for a day, and teach a man to fish, he'll eat forever. So for me, I was like, it's not fair. My students need to know at least what's going on with the mysteries and all that. And then they can now use it and then eat for a lifetime off of it, grow their business knowing this information. So I'm really proud of and excited about this program. I love to help the newbies because I wish I had this support when I started.
Don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been a game changer.
Game changer.
Thank you so much, Lisa. We're going to share the links to that with everyone. And once again, it's always amazing talking to you. I absolutely adore you and everything that you share online. So we're going to do this again. Thank you so, so much.
Thank you.
Everyone, bye-bye. We'll see you later.